But moving on. So we have Cam's comments on I guess just displeasure. I think this is kind of a pretty common sentiment. So we're going to kind of dive more into just our thoughts on it. But on the 50s, why do we, I don't know who is picking our thumbnail photos for these topics, but y'all be having these people looking crazy. Golly. Kyle looks like he was like high the other day. Cam looks like he's yelling into the void right now. We got to stop. We got to be better than this night swim. But he wasn't happy with the thoughts on or not the thoughts, the qualifying procedures. For those of you who don't know, a lot of crazy, I don't even know if I'll call them loopholes, but constrictions on this stuff. And one of them is you have to qualify for the event a year in advance. It has to be done at a certain time span, which I believe is the World Cup, so those travel meets. Another one is it's not a priority event, at least definitely not for the second person, right? The Olympics, especially the major teams, usually take 2 people per event. I want to say the first qualifier is not a priority. So like in the U.S., your top, say a relay event, right? Your top 4 finishers are all priority swimmers. The 2 alternates are not. So once all the spots fill up, using whatever equation they use to calculate this, they'll then make the 5th spot a priority swimmer. So the 5th person qualifies for the team. And when you have guys like Phelps and Pearsall and Lochte who are eating up spots, those events instantly become priority. Those extra alternate spots become priority spots. Well, now those alternate spots are basically the same value as those 50 spots, even though you may have somebody who won their event and shouldn't make the team, air quotes. So what do you think about this, Elvis?
I almost cut you off halfway because I got lost.
Oh.
No,
you want to redo it real quick?
The rules on the qualifications are so convoluted and so over the place, like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's set up to fail.
And yeah, it's set up for failure. And it just goes back to how in swimming, versatility is always rewarded more than specificity. And I remember when we were younger, and USA Swimming would kind of never give the short course world championships like it's true respect for right. It was almost like
because we're the ones kicking ass at it, but
yeah,
we still don't.
Yeah, but back in the day, short course world champs was where the C and D swimmers would go for like warm up.
yeah.
It was a joke.
The C and D swimmers and Ryan.
Right. And Ryan Lochte, because he was like, yeah, I'm gonna smoke these underwaters.
Yeah. Well, he was getting all that money, remember, for getting those gold medals and those world records. Right. So yeah, shout out to Ryan.
Right. And honestly, Ryan Lochte probably brought legitimacy to the short course world championships and kind of set the foundation for what it is today.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah. So back then that was the case. And I remember in order to qualify for like the 50 of stroke, it was basically like if you were the 100 fly champion, once you got to the meet, they would give you the option like, hey, you want to swim the 50 fly as a little icebreaker race before your 100? Yeah. Like they never respected the 50s of stroke and they never respected short course. So I feel like that same sentiments have just kind of carried over in a lot of these qualifications and a lot of these reasons why the 50s of stroke have taken so long to even become an actual race in the Olympics. It's been great in world championships, long course, but you still don't have the 4x50 relays. You still have these weird qualification times now, which make no sense. Like 50 fly, 50 back, 50 free. These are legit races. Notice I left one out on purpose, but these are legit races. So they need to be given the right qualification systems and the right respect.
So, all right, what do you think about this though? Because I'm like, as far as respecting them goes, I'm torn a little bit just because the system I grew up in didn't respect them. right? And then I guess my second B, like 1B, is that it just looks like swimmers are trying to inflate our medal count. Right. So obviously there's an easy solution to that. Get rid of a lot of mixed relays. Boom, you're fixed. Right. Now, here's the thing that I want you to give me your opinion on is when you go from, first of all, the event should be given their due diligence, at least the first person, right? Here's the issue I have that I want your opinion on is it is the specificity thing, like you said, but 100 swimmer can come down. Right now, it's different when it's like Phelps, who's a 200 swimmer who comes down and then doesn't swim the 50, even though he qualified for the 100. Right now, I think the issue is that you have a lot of the 50 people are going to be actual 50 people who can't go up. Right. So, in that regard, I understand how it's kind of like a risky situation for filling out your entire team. And this is where I think the inflating the medal count comes in. Because if you have these swimmers who can only go in and swim one event, right? Even though I know you probably have a comeback ready for that comment, who can only swim one event, but then they can't go up versus a swimmer who can swim in one event and can come down and get two. That's where I kind of have a hang up at. Like, how do you resolve, or I don't want to say cope, but rationalize that situation? Because it would theoretically eat into other events, like a fifth swimmer or whatever, right, for a relay.
So I feel like your example is kind of the answer to the question.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So think about track and field.
That's kind of like where I'm getting at, but I'm like, I don't know how to make sense of this in swimming because it's way different as far as our event choice.
Yeah. So the argument is there's an inflation of medals in swimming.
Right.
And I'm going to say the answer first and then go through the explanation.
All right, I think that's probably best too.
I think when they say that, they don't mean there's too many medals on a whole in swimming. I think they mean there's too many opportunities for one person to win an inflated amount of medals in swimming.
So I think the other way.
Right.
Either way, that's not important.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I'll explain my way. So Michael Phelps winning 8 medals, Mark Spitz winning 7, Caleb Dressel winning, what did he win, like 6 or 7 at one of his?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right. That should never happen at the Olympic level where one person can win that many medals. Let's go to track. Usain Bolt, greatest sprinter of all time. The most amount of medals he's winning is what? The 100 meters, the 200 meters.
Maybe 3 if he's lucky, or 4,
3.
I guess, because of 2 relays, and then maybe the 4 if he decides he wants to do it.
Not even 2 relays, 1 relay.
No, he did the 4x2.
There is no 4x2.
Yeah, there is.
There's a 4x4 and a 4x1.
No, there's a 4x2 because he won like yeah. Wait,
there's no 4x2. That's swimming. Track doesn't have a 4x2.
So in the 4x1, you come around the bend?
Yeah, because you got to go the track is 400 meters, so 4 people each run 100. 2 people run a curve, and then 2 people run a straight.
Okay, that's why I'm getting confused because the bend. Oh, right, because the 200 you're at the front of the bend, not the back of the bend.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what had me messed up. Okay, continue.
So Usain Bolt at maximum effort can only win 3 gold medals, and that's huge.
Right.
But you got guys who come to the track and field. You got people who only do the high jump, who only throw the javelin, who only throw the shot put, who only throw the hammer. Those are your 50 guys. They specialize in one thing, and they come and they win their 1 medal and they go home. But in swimming, it's almost like we frown upon that.
Right.
It's like, you can only swim the 50 fly. Like, yeah. And I'm freaking good at it.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
we're in the zone. We're in the zone right now.
Right. So I think if you, I don't know if the answer is if you put a limitation on, hey, you can only swim 3 events, and then force people to choose,
Ooh,
like that could make things really interesting.
that would fix things quick.
That fix things real quick, and then you have to spread the love out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the right answer.
It is an answer, though, for sure.
It is an answer. Because again, I don't think the problem is how many medals are in swimming. I think it's how many medals one person can eat in swimming versus other sports. No other sport allows that. Hell, even Simone Biles in gymnastics, she's the best at
limit. Yeah, because she's
the best at every discipline.
Yeah, but there's a limit.
Right, but still. Sip my champagne on that one.
Yeah, for real. That's a good answer. See, so all right, that's a really good answer, first of all. Here's my thing, though, is that athlete, well, I might be putting the egg on my own face right here. I feel like that athlete is extremely rare, right? The Phelps, the Lochteys, and then that, like, the tier under them, right? Your Gretchen Walsh, she's only doing maybe 4 events. Right? So what was Phelps doing? 2 fly, 100 fly, 2 free, 2 IM. So he's doing 5. Okay, so 4 is actually really close to that too. So yeah, I guess you're right then. You're right.
Plus the relays.
Yeah. So I was saying like, yeah, plus the relays, all of a sudden you got 8 events. If you do 5, 4, you win all 4, and then you got 3 relays, that's 7 gold medals. So yeah, you're right. You're completely right.
And then on top of that, you can go on a relay, swim the prelims of the relay, and not swim the finals and still get a medal. That counts.
Yeah.
Imagine they eliminated that rule.
Yeah. I guess, you got to limit it. You have to. Yeah. That's a good answer.
I don't know if you have to, but it's an idea.
I think you have to. That's the only answer. Like, if you want the 50s to be taken seriously, we'll see. Are you right? I know it's a good answer. So, all right, if you limit the number of events an athlete can swim, does that make more singular places?
See, if you,
does it?
I think it does.
Because if you have an athlete who wins or qualifies in 5 events, they only get 1 roster spot.
Right.
But you only take
2. No, they take 5. They'll take 5 roster spots.
No. You take 1 roster spot. So you get 26. See, you don't know this because your nation's too small. Okay. But here in America, the greatest place in the land, you can only get 26 roster spots. So if you win 5 events, you only take 1 roster spot.
Okay.
So technically that means more individuals can make the meet.
Yes.
Theoretically, that would actually make it possible for 2 individual 50 swimmers. So it's a good answer, but I think it's the inverse.
Yes.
But I don't know what that looks like.
So
you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah, it's almost like you create a problem by fixing a problem too.
Yeah.
Because you got if you limit, let's say you say Phelps can only swim 3 individuals.
Yeah.
He takes his 1 roster spot with 3 races, and he gives up potentially 2 other spots.
Right.
Or 1 spot to somebody who's banging in 2 races.
So he creates 2 roster spots that could eat into the 50 spots.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess the fix around that is you have to expand the amount of spots you allow. Because if you're limiting how many races one person can swim, then you can expand the amount of spots you have, because you'll have a higher athlete count at the meet, but it's still the same bodies in the race.
Yeah. And what's the difference between 26 and 30? Like, really?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess that would be the answer.
I wonder if I'll explain for our listeners how Olympic qualifying works.
Go ahead.
The tiers. So, because I'm sure everyone has seen the video of, I think his name was, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, Wissam Ambani, I believe, or is that the New York governor? I don't remember. Anyway, the guy, he basically swam the 100 free, and he went like a really slow time, and he swam by himself.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Very famous. Yeah, very famous video. And everyone always asks me, how did that guy make the Olympics if he was so slow and he could barely swim 100? So I'll explain. So there's several ways you can qualify for the Olympics. The first, most obvious way is you hit the cut, you're top 2 in your country, you get the A cut. So a big country like America and their USA Olympic trials, 10 out of 10 times the people who come first and second are so far beyond the Olympic A cut that it's irrelevant.
And another thing is we have to have a trial just because we have so many people with the A cut.
Right. So the top 2 are automatically selected to go in that spot.
Even though they may not even have had the fastest A cut on the year.
Right. So top 2 in the country automatically selected once they're past the A cut.
Right.
That's the top. That's the real Olympian, for lack of a better term. That's the top Olympian. You've qualified. You've made it. You're the best. Right below that, the second option I would say is, I would say it's a tie, actually. It's a tie between your relay swimmers and the B cut swimmers. So if you're top 6 in the 100 freestyle or the 200 freestyle, those relay events, the top 4 go as the top
separately. Go top 4, and then we'll talk about the extra 2.
Right. Top 4 go, and then the extra 2 go as alternates.
Yeah, but they can only go as alternates if there's roster spots left. And this is why people like Phelps, for the USA, Phelps and Lottie were so important, which is kind of what we were just talking about now, is they ate up so many spots that are, you could have, like, if you made it 6th place, you were guaranteed you were going because you knew Phelps and Lottie were going to eat up 10 spots apiece.
Right. So that's the other tier, is the relay alternate swimmers. But I would say the relay alternate swimmers are kind of tied or slightly below B qualifiers. Now, B qualifiers are after all of the A cuts in the world are selected and counted up and put in the pool. Then they say, okay, you know what? I lied. B swimmers are third. There's a more important category that people forget. And this is the one where you see the slow swimmers. So there's a category called universality.
Okay.
That is
about this.
Yeah, that is when your country has nobody who made an A cut, nobody who made a B cut, nobody who made a relay, nothing. You get 1 girl and 1 boy spot to send free.
Oh.
To represent your flag at the big stage.
Right.
Because again, I think it was our first episode, many episodes ago, I said World Championships is where you come to compete. Olympics is where you come to represent your country and do world peace.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So universality. So that's how you end up with the swimmers who may not have some of the best times or the best races. And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to pick those quote unquote easier races, like the 50 free or the 100 free. And the first 8 heats of the 50 free is going to be smaller nations, African nations, nations that have less access or to pools, etc. Right. But they're there to represent their country on the big stage. So respect for that.
Right.
The Olympic Committee prioritizes those people after all the A cuts. So they pull in all of those people.
Right.
Now, whatever spots are left are divvied out to whoever got the B qualifying times. So if they say, okay, we're bringing 800 athletes to the Olympics this year. Okay, 100 athletes made the A cut. Boom, select them. Now we have 600 universality athletes going from all these other countries. Boom, pull all of them in. What do we got left?
Yeah, and the thing you got to think is it's probably a lot easier to be a universality athlete just by nature of how it's designed.
Yes.
The B cut is not a joke. So
Right.
if you're in a small country and you just know how to swim, like you're sounds to me like what you're saying is you're in.
Right. So the B cuts get all those last spots, but as a country, you can only send one B cut where you can send 2 A cuts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now, back in 2008, when I qualified, the B cut was basically a guaranteed in, but you were guaranteed only one spot.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how I understood it too.
Yeah. But now I think at 2012 is when they made the shift because they said the numbers were too big. So they said, okay, the B cuts might get you a spot. You'll get the last spots, but it won't be, it's not guaranteed anymore.
Yeah.
So that's when things got a little messy. And then they also switched the rules saying if somebody in your country got an A cut, everybody has to get an A cut.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Right. So in 2012, I got the B cut and Ariana got the A cut. So her A cut knocked out my B cut.
Yeah, shout out to Ariana's dream
Shout out
killer.
to Ariana. So here's where it gets messy. If Ariana decided to slack her race at the previous world championships where she was in the finals and swam like a slower race and went a B cut, both of us would have went to the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
But
wow, that's weird.
Right, because of the rule. If we both had if we both had B cuts, we could have canceled our B cuts and both went as universality automatically.
What a joke.
Right. But because she's so fast and she got the A cut, it's like, all right, Ariana got the A cut, everybody's got to get the A cut. So now I'm knocked out. All the other girls who got B cuts got knocked out. So Ariana was the only swimmer that went.
Right. Dang, dude.
Right. So then in 2016, they changed the rule again. They said, okay, we'll allow B cuts to go with A cuts.
Okay. So this is how I understand the rule.
Yeah. So this is how it is now. We'll allow the B cuts to go with the A cuts, but we're going to select all the universality before the B cuts, and then you all will get whatever's left. But
okay.
So
and this allows you to it's like a loophole for you're not sending 2 B cut athletes, but it's how you can have a second athlete who has a B cut.
Right. So once again, Ariana hits her A cut. Cool. She's in. Joanna Evans hits her A cut. She's in. So we got 2 girls in the A cuts going. Now there was me. I got the B cut in the 50 freestyle. And then we had a gentleman named Dustin Tynes. He got the B cut in the 100 breast. So both of us are on the fence now. And now the Bahamas can only send one of us. So
why is that? Because they're all in different events though.
Right. But because of the rules, it was however you submit the names.
Oh,
right.
It's always some bullshit like that.
Always some BS. So what they decided to do was say, okay, we'll put both of your times in the FINA point system, and whoever has the most FINA points, we'll send you as the B cut representative.
Right.
So his 100 breast time has a higher FINA point count than my 50 time.
Right.
So so basically I qualified for the Olympics like 3 times and only got to go once.
Yeah. So just another way that you know that swimming's just full of shit on a lot of things, guys. Yeah. America, like you there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. Like it's a lot of loopholes, a lot of just nonsensicalness, because I'm sure it would have cost them nothing to send you too, right?
That's why I jokingly call myself a 3-time Olympian.
Hey, seriously, joking seriously, right?
Right. But, you know, bless up to those guys. They earned their spot. I'll never take it from them.
Yeah, that's interesting though. But